Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles,
Hello.
who was MIA yesterday.
Yeah, I was busy.
She ran away screaming. She's like, I am done with Clownfish TV.
No, I ran away with Pinky Boo and Mama Sparkles.
So she went shopping. She had
I went shopping.
Girls' Day. Girls' Day.
And my Girls' Day was spent at places like craft stores and Lowe's.
Lowe's.
Because you know the girls in our family, we love Lowe's.
Power tools.
She loved Pinky Boo loves what do they call it? So does Squid King. The lights where they have the light display, the Hall of Lights or something. They call
at Lowe's with the aisle
that's like
of
their
lights,
favorite place to go.
fixtures,
Is the light. Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to like it too. So.
All right, so we're going to talk about Luke Skywalker, Star Wars, and I guess I
have opinions.
A little dismal Disney news. Before we do that, just a reminder, we have 10 days to go yet on the Clownfish TV enamel pin. You can go shopclownfish.com. Check that out. Limited supply. When they're gone, they are gone. And before we talk about Luke Skywalker, let's talk about Disney's stuff breaking.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so what happened last night, apparently? There was an incident on Splash Mountain again. This keeps happening. Splash Mountain always has trouble normal days, but since it's come back from the reopening, it seems to have more trouble.
It has trouble because it's racist.
That's right. That's right. Now the ride is apparently, revolting against it.
It is the ride is revolting. It's been revolting for 30 years.
The ride riot. And now this time the boat sank. So apparently, if you scroll down, it's on Twitter. You can go out and watch the videos on Twitter. I'm not going to play it because it's not ours. But people were in one of the log vehicles and it started filling up with water. So they jumped out of the vehicle, as most people would do. I mean, you shouldn't jump out of a ride that's moving, but they jump out, and the person, they're mad because the cast member yelled at them for jumping out of the boat. Well, the cast members are watching it on a screen, so all they probably saw was people jumping out of the boat. So they're like, what the flip's wrong with you? And they're going to have like a protocol for this, which is you're supposed to stay in a vehicle.
Right.
But of course, anybody in a vehicle that is sinking is going to jump out of the vehicle if they have the opportunity to do so. So people got out of the boat, and then it went underwater. Now, the water is not very deep here, so it only would have gone up to their chest. I mean, you only would have been worried if you were a little kid.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, it sunk. The people in the back, of course, would have got a heck of a lot more wet than people in the front, apparently. From where it was, but the people in the back would have got really wet.
No poncho. No poncho is going to keep you dry.
So they jumped out, and I'm thinking, where did they jump? Because, I would have been more worried about, unless it's on this side, I would have been more worried about being electrocuted or something.
Yeah.
But they got out of the boat, and then they were evacuated out of the attraction. But the best part of this entire comment, you can see the water's pretty high.
Yeah.
The best part of this whole thing are the comments on Twitter. If you go back to the...
I just wanted to see. Oh man, look at that.
Yeah, so the back vehicles, this wasn't going to drown you unless you're short or really, really like a little kid, but you would have gotten very, very, very wet. So you go to the comments, go down. You go to the comments, keep going. You can do it.
Keep going. There's a lot of.
You can do it.
There's a lot of tweets.
Keep going. Okay. Oh, this is like. Oh, they said they heard them say powering off on the ride before they evacuated it. Go down. Okay, so now the comments are the best. I love this. Did they even offer you any compensation from us drowning you? And then they have the Men in Black where they try to erase your memory.
Click.
It gets better.
Passhole. That is the best.
It gets better. Stay on the boat, please.
Oh my God.
Yes, keep going. It gets better. Arriving at the end of the ride, But then my favorite one is this one.
This was the same one.
Read the comment though.
Oh.
Looks like Brer Fox and Brer Bear causing some kind of commotion downstream. Because that's what they say. If you get locked in the boat, because we've been on the ride when it's been stopped before. Please stay in your boats while we take care of things.
So this happened with the Jungle Cruise a couple of months ago too.
But it's a lot deeper water at the Jungle Cruise.
Right. So is Disney not maintaining their stuff?
Probably not. Because they don't have money that much now, and there's several reasons, which kind of ties into what we're going to talk about in a minute. Maybe they'd have more money to maintain things if they had alienated half the people on the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, maybe if Star Wars was actually more successful. And
they're probably like, why is this? What's that have to do with Star Wars? But we're going to tell you. We're going to talk about Star Wars now because they put up on their Shop Disney, they have their Run Disney events. And in the spring, I think usually March or April, they have their rival run weekends. And you get to pick if you're Empire or if you're, Rebel Alliance or whatever hell they call them now, Rebellion or whatever, depending on the flavor of the week is. Well, they canceled that, obviously, because of the coronavirus. So they are putting the Spirit jerseys they would have sold at the event up on Shop Disney. And first thing I noticed was it's classic and prequel trilogy, not the new trilogy. That's the first thing I noticed. And I was like, wow, I really like that Spirit jersey. I might buy it. Until I got to there's Run for the Empire, then there's Run with the Force. And they got to this one, they lost me. And I'll show you why. Look, it's classic characters. It's Leia and Yoda. When you're thinking classic Star Wars, Run with the Force, Leia is not the person you think of. You think of Luke.
Missed opportunity. Luke with a backpack running with Yoda.
Yeah, that's what I said. You know, I was mad. I'll tell you why. Because I'm like, this is stupid. You're going classic characters. I'm all about it. And then you get to where it would be Luke in the classic trilogy with Yoda in the prequel. And you went with Leia, which, yeah, Leia has Force powers in the new movies. I mean, she clearly was, was born with them too. They allude to that in Jedi. But if you're going with the classic Star Wars, it would be effing Luke, not Leia. And this further proves their narrative about erasing Luke, which really pissed me off. And so as a result, I bought neither. They also had a Stormtrooper one that was, follow the dark side. But I was gonna buy the Empire one, and then I saw this and I bought nothing. Because I was so pissed.
And it's not like they didn't have room.
They have X-Wings. Who flies an X-Wing? Not Leia.
Leia's never flown an X-Wing that I know. She doesn't need an X-Wing. She can fly herself.
That's right. She Space Jesus herself.
She can fly through space herself. She doesn't even need a ship. She's that powerful in the Force.
So if nothing else proves that there's an agenda out there to erase Luke Skywalker, or there was, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, was an agenda to erase Luke Skywalker, this jersey surely proves it. Because if you're going to go with classic characters, I mean, you can put Leia on there, but put Luke on there too. There's no Luke, because then you have to double down on this. Luke Skywalker's bad, and the future of Star Wars is women. Leia and Rey, women.
Yeah, and this has been a thing that they've been pushing, is they've been pushing Leia over Luke, but the thing
Leia
is,
makes no sense here.
No, even.
Okay. No.
Okay.
I was so mad. I broke my knuckles. And in my fit of rage, I slammed my fingers into a computer. Ow, that hurt. Anyway. It should have been Luke, not Leia. Leia makes no sense here. I mean, Leia, yes, supposedly trained Rey, and they're trying to double down on this the Force is female stuff. And then and that stupid narrative that is women weren't popular in Star Wars, women weren't important to Star Wars until now. Which, if you read the books, if you played any of the expanded universe, if you saw the original movies or the prequel trilogy, that's a load of shit, and everybody knows it. But now for the Spirit jersey. And then people are like, but I thought you said yesterday that they're talking about that they have Mark Hamill's permission to do a young Luke Skywalker series, and they might put him on Galaxy's Edge. Yes, because here's what's happening. When they made those jerseys, the run would have been March or April. So those jerseys would have been designed and set in last year, probably October. You do this kind of stuff, several months out.
Yeah, it would have been 6 or 8 months out, probably.
Right. So they're talking like, August, October, somewhere like that. The designs were sent in. When they were still doubling down on their women women of the future of Star Wars, and that's when they were going to make Leia the one that trained Rey and all this other stuff. That's, so they're going with classics. They know people don't want to buy the new stuff. They only want to buy the classic stuff, but they still tried to get that narrative in with the Leia instead of Luke. I love Leia. Don't get me wrong. I love Leia. However, I just think in this shirt, it was another example of them doubling down on the removing Luke, vilifying Luke bullshit. And that's what they did. And that was the design. And then after Rise of Skywalker came out, now they're trying to walk it back because they have literally, if it was just a vocal minority, why the hell are they trying to change everything now? They wouldn't. Yeah,
this sounds like, Disney now is trying to go back to formula, back to what works. All of a sudden, within the last, few months, they're talking about, getting Mark Hamill back, or at least giving his blessing.
Yeah, you cannot do Star Wars without Luke Skywalker.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Because they destroyed him in The Last Jedi, And they talk about that. They talk about, possibly getting George Lucas involved again in some degree, whether he's going to come back and run Lucasfilm in his 70s. I don't know about that. But, getting him back on board, trying to right the ship. We had a video we did yesterday or the day before talking about CGI Luke Skywalker, and we speculated that maybe they could replace Rey with Luke on the attraction, one of the attractions at Galaxy's Edge. Whatever's going on, it seems like they have a plan now to bring Luke back because they've been accused of being anti-Luke.
Right. So yeah. Oh, this is coming on comicbook.com. When was this? Oh,
this was 2 years
ago. A couple years ago. Yeah. So these shirts were designed before the Rise of Skywalker bombed and didn't do well. This is before all these new rumors about the KK situation and George Lucas and all that, had come to a head. That they would have designed this, but it just proves the point. One, they already went to classic Star Wars. Why would they when their big sequel ending would have been right a few months before? And because that stuff doesn't sell. The stuff that sells are the prequels and the classics. They had to shove Leia in there for no reason, and it makes no sense, especially if they're going classic Star Wars. Leia would not be the one with Yoda. That's just dumb. And when was Leia ever with Yoda?
Never.
Exactly. That makes absolutely no sense other than pushing a damn narrative. Go ahead.
Maybe they're hanging in the afterlife together.
Maybe they're chilling together as ghosts. I don't know. But okay. This irritates me to no end, and I know a lot of you guys get irritated by this as well. Being a woman, we constantly hear that women are kept out of Star Wars, which is not true. I've never felt that way. But we also hear this narrative that that you have to have these more diverse characters on screen because you can't identify the characters unless they're like you. And we hear all the time, like, well, there's not enough women. We have more women because women can identify. I'm sorry. Women can identify characters that aren't exactly like them. Men can identify with characters that aren't exactly like them. Minorities can identify with characters not exactly like them. I can identify with minority characters too. I'm like, this is dumb. If you have to have a character that looks and acts and has everything about them just like you to identify with them, well, that's kind of one, racist and phobist, and two, insulting. If you only can identify with a character that's exactly like you, well, aren't you kind of a narcissistic twit? And also, that makes you an Easterphobe because you only can identify a character who's exactly like you? I'm like, that's stupid. And that's insulting to the viewers. It's insulting to minorities. It's insulting to everyone. And but they're doubling down on this bullshit. Continue. I'm sorry. I'm mad.
Well, I didn't
buy a shirt, and I would have bought a dang Spirit jersey too.
This is an ongoing pattern of behavior at Lucasfilm. We're seeing, even a couple of years ago, they went to the Lucasfilm offices, and at the offices, they spotted a picture of Luke and Vader. You didn't see this before?
No.
Luke and Vader, and they had Luke crossed out.
This proves it. Fuck this. Sorry, Mom. I haven't used the F word in a while. I am so mad.
I mean, okay, so
I never saw this.
Yeah, so people are like, but it's so funny. They're like, oh no, there's nothing going on here. We don't hate Luke Skywalker. And then we had these cartoons drop.
Yep.
And this was actually the most evidence I've seen of an anti-Luke, because not only did they sideline Luke, they made him a complete dumbass in the cartoons.
And Leia hits him.
Leia smacks him. And
then Leia has to lead, they have Leia doing stuff she never did. And that's insulting to Leia because, there she hits him. And then they have Leia, taking charge and doing things Leia never did, like on Hoth and all that other stuff. And it's like, you're basically saying that Leia wasn't a good enough character unless she was in charge. I don't know. As a girl, I never felt that Leia wasn't in charge. Nor did I ever feel that she needed to hit somebody to prove that she was better. Because she was a better character than that. She was royalty. She wouldn't have smacked him to be proved she was better.
Yeah, I mean, this is, again, but then they keep saying, hey, we don't have an anti-Luke agenda.
Hell you don't, Disney. Hell you don't.
We destroyed him. We destroyed him in The Last Jedi. We sidelined him, made him sad, and destroyed him so Rey could rise to the top. We made sure that when we even go back in, it's almost like retconning. These are supposed to be introductions to Star Wars for children, and they're making sure kids see that Leia's the boss and Luke is a schmuck. And the media was totally jumping on that. And the thing is, they still do because it gets hits. Screen Crush, just a couple months ago, Luke Skywalker was always the galaxy's most overachieving screw up. We have articles like this. We had in the expanded, well, it's not the expanded universe, whatever, the Disney Star Wars EU, where they had, Alpha Squadron, where they talked about how Jyn Erso did all the hard work and Luke Skywalker just showed up.
Jyn Erso didn't even do it. Her dad did.
Her dad did it. Her dad
put the kill switch in the machine, not her. She got the plans out, but that's all she did. I mean, she didn't, she didn't design it that way. She didn't blow it up. She was part of a chain that got out. She was equally, responsible for it being blown up as her father, as Luke.
Yeah.
They were all part of a series of events that led to the destruction. But I wouldn't say she was more important than everybody else because she's got tits.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pattern. So when you see stuff like this, now it's weird because we're getting other outlets finally, getting on board. Well, because they don't like the Rise of Skywalker.
That's it. They don't like the Rise of Skywalker.
But they're talking about, the Rise of Skywalker is one of the worst things that Star Wars has done. Whole scene felt forced. It goes against Rey's character arc. She was happy to live her own life with that family, but they make her a Skywalker, and they make sure that it's not just Luke looking on, it's Leia too. How Leia became a Force ghost. Was she strong enough in the Force to understand how the Force ghost thing works? Because, as I understand it, that was a special skill that only the most powerful Jedi could do.
Well, of course she's the most powerful is because she's the female Skywalker, so she has to be.
Yoda could do it, Kenobi could do it, and it took Ben Kenobi, again, as I understand it from the EU and piecing together from the movies, they learned it from Qui-Gon Jinn spiritually, but it still took them decades to perfect it. But now any Jedi
she
dies.
could space Jesus herself, so she's
she must
obviously that strong. But I mean, if you already weren't convinced, okay, I had not seen that X picture. That pisses me off.
Oh yeah, that
I
was
even
from a
used the
couple
F
of years
word.
ago.
I am so sorry. I've been trying really hard not to use the F word. That made me so mad. But then, then you see the Run Disney jersey, and I don't care. I mean, I do a Disney blog. I try to stay pretty as neutral as I can on this kind of stuff on the Disney blog, because it's about talking about the theme parks and that kind of stuff. But on that article, I went there because I was so angry when I saw this. I was like, this makes no sense. This choice makes no sense. Or at least put Luke with Leia. Okay, I would have seen that would have been okay. I would have definitely bought it then because I had Leia and Luke. I would have bought it. This one thing kept me from buying any of them, and I love Spirit jerseys. I have a Spirit jersey problem. Ask Kneon. I love them. I would have bought the Empire one in a heartbeat because I thought it was so badass. I loved it, and I love that it's classic. And I will buy classic Star Wars because I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I like classics. I will buy it because it's classic. I didn't really care for that one. It looks like 290s to me with the acid wash.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of the point. But no, again, they're going back to the classic Stormtroopers.
And that's what I was excited about. When I saw it was classics, I was like, oh, I started writing the article. I'm like, I'm so happy it's classic. It's classic. And then I saw the backside of the Run with the Force. I was totally expecting Luke and Yoda. Or I was like, oh, watch them put Rey on there. And I saw Leia. And I'm like, this makes no sense. And they put both the Rebel Alliance and the Jedi symbol on there, so she's not even supposed to be the Force. They have her listed as Rebellion, not even as the Force in this image. That's just dumb.
Well, I kept thinking, well, maybe this is the female jersey, this is the male jersey.
No, it's pink. It's got look at the logo. It's kind of pinkish.
Pinkish.
And there's a lot of dudes that run the Star Wars marathon too. It's not just girls.
Yeah. So it just seems I think, like you were saying, I think this was actually designed and
100%.
Manufactured last year for an event that was supposed to take place in March or April or whenever they do it, and it got pushed back because of Corona. I think there was a mandate at the beginning of the year or the end of last year, might have even been after the box office performance of Rise of Skywalker, that they're like, shit, people don't like the sequel trilogy.
People are tired of the anti-Luke sentiment.
Yeah, they don't like this, so let's double down on Luke. But at that point, this stuff was already made. And we're seeing the toys that they're pushing now. They're pushing classic Star Wars. Hasbro gets it. They lost a shit ton of money on sequel trilogy toys they couldn't sell, and now it's almost all exclusively classic merchandise. Right,
and then I saw there's a new line of Star Wars clothing coming from Disney, and I actually am interested in some of those pieces because it's classic Star Wars. It's actually Star Wars 1977 type, and 1980. They have the rainbow stuff, and it looks like the 70s and 80s pieces you'd see.
Like something on the side of a van.
Rainbows were used in fashion before the last few years, and they're really cool pieces. And I'm like, oh, I definitely want to get one of those. They have a jacket and a shirt. I love a sweatshirt. I want to get one of those. And then I love Spirit jerseys. I was all ready to buy one of these. I was all down for it. And then I saw that. Then I was like, no, I'm not buying any of them. I'm just not doing it. I'm so pissed about this. I will support things I think that are good, that are going in the right direction. This clearly was not.
Yeah, so I think this hopefully is the last gasp of anti-Luke merchandise. I'm
hoping, because now they're signing something with Mark Hamill to try to work something out to try to right the ship. But the reason we brought up the other thing about the speaking of righting the ship, the reason we brought up Splash Mountain was because maybe they'd have more money to fix their attractions if they hadn't run the Star Wars franchise into the ground, so no one really came to the movies in the numbers they thought, and people didn't give them all the money they thought they should get on Galaxy's Edge, the place they have to job out or send the items to Target.
Yeah, it's look, Star Wars has been horribly mismanaged, And I think there's lots of blame, to go around. I think that Disney, again, they buy stuff, they don't know how to run it. If they didn't create it, they don't know how to manage it. We've seen it before. It's just never on this scale. Star Wars is such a huge thing. We've seen them mismanage the Muppets and all that. But
why is that thing on the corner say Splash Mountain explicit? Right here. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
I don't know, but apparently, don't click on it.
I don't know.
Apparently there's a Splash Mountain explicit cut of something.
I don't know.
Is it explicit because it has, like, they think it's racist or something?
Possibly.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the explicit. I'm like, now I'm intrigued, yet I'm like, don't want to click on it. Anyway. So, we brought it up because there's some problems, and they might have more money to fix the problems had they not lost so much money on all the problems they created themselves.
Yep. That's true.
So stop trying to cancel Luke Skywalker. Stop with this bullshit that women weren't important to Star Wars until now, because it's all a lie. And also stop retconning Leia, because it's insulting to the character of Leia as well. Just stop. Just stop. And this whole idea that you can't identify with the character unless they're exactly like you is a load of shit. Because for decades, people have identified with characters that aren't necessarily like them. And it's fine. Because there's always something about people's stories and journeys that you have something to relate to. They don't have to look just like you. They don't have to have the same, skin tone or race or sexual orientation or whatever as you for you to understand and relate to what they're going through. I mean, if you take that, you're narcissistic and you're kind of an a-hole. Sorry, but I was pissed.
Okay. Well,
sorry for the swearing. Sorry, Mom.
So Disney lost a sale on Spirit jerseys.
I'd have bought one for sure.
She's got a whole closet full of them. So we're gonna wrap this up.
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll be back with more videos later today.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.